Alright, so my name's Armando. We have my wife Ashley behind the camera. We're doing our first segment. We're going to call it Tort-talk. And we're just going to talk about tortoises, tell you some different things about them. It's not necessarily a care video just yet, but kind of like a profile, let you know about them a little bit. So today we have our Cherryheads, these two right here. This is Ace and this is Kiki. And the Cherryheads are a species called Chelonoidis carbonaria, and they're from like Central and South America, but the Cherryhead in particular is a locality from Brazil, which happens to grow a little bit smaller in the adult size, so she can maybe get a couple more inches than this. And they also grow this really cool marbling, this white patterning on the shell here, and their heads stay red throughout their life. A lot of redfoots, as they get older, their head and their legs might turn yellow and things like that, but their heads stay nice and red throughout their whole life. And then sometimes cherryheads and regular redfoots, they can look pretty similar because they are the same species, they're just a different locality. So like we have Cyrus here, she's a redfoot, but she's got a little bit of marbling too. So if you wanted to tell the difference between these two animals, and you come a little bit closer here, they've got this scale on the back of their leg here that kind of sticks up right there, and that shows you that it's a cherryhead. See, she's got none here, it's just black. This little scale right there that stands up off the skin, it kind of sticks out. That's one of the ways where if you had two tortoises, you couldn't really tell if it was a cherryhead. That's one of the ways. The other way is this bottom side. On the cherryhead, it's super black, and Kiki here has some marbling, and Cyrus has a very yellow bottom. That's the most obvious way to tell. So as far as their humidity, being from Brazil, they like a lot of high humidity. We accomplish that by spraying multiple times a day. Those of you that follow the channel, I'm always showing videos of me spraying the enclosures. They eat broadleaf type of greens, anything with a big leaf on it. We feed them hibiscus leaves, all kinds of bigger type leaves. They eat lettuce, different kinds of lettuces, anything to give them a good variety. These particular cherryheads, they eat fruit. They can eat all kinds of fruit. They can eat different types of protein. In the wild, they'll eat carrion, which is like wild animals that have died and things like that. They poop a lot, and he's actually wanting to take a bite of his poop because tortoises in the wild will eat other animals' poop to get whatever type of nutrients and things they might have had. So that's one thing they do. I think the cherryheads are a pretty good animal for beginner reptile keepers, beginner anybody that's never had a tortoise or a turtle before and wants to maybe get into it. The cherryheads and the redfoots in general are pretty awesome. They don't get too big. They're considered like a medium size. And especially in Florida, they're great because they can live right outdoors. As soon as they're pretty much like this size, they could go outdoors and do pretty well. And yeah, they're pretty fun. They're nice tortoises. They get to know you. They come running in the enclosure. They come running for food and things like that. They interact with you. And they're a lot of fun. They're one of my favorite tortoise species.